What's up, YouTube? Oh, let me take these out. How are you guys doing tonight? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just going to refresh the stream on my end, and then we'll get started here in a little bit. You guys super stoked for your weekends? I hope you are. I know I am. I have a friend that is getting married next weekend, and we're going out for a little COVID-safe bachelor party this weekend, which I dearly hope ends with us doing some virtual like GTA action to like go crazy in a virtual world. That's my hope. I don't know. That's the nerd in me. But exciting plans for the weekends. So I hope you guys have some exciting plans for the weekend. Vienna, hello. Alan, hello. Waldo, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Thank you guys for joining. I'm excited because today is like the end of something that's been kind of going on for like the last, like month, 2 months maybe. Just get my Fuji. Alan's saying I just get my Fuji X-T3 yesterday and I love it. Go crazy in those VR goggles. Yeah, I need to. Does GTA do? I think it does. I have VR goggles for my PlayStation and like PlayStation VR, and I don't ever use them. I really should. So, but what I was saying, and Alan, awesome. That's awesome. XT3. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact I love my Black Magic, I would strongly be considering the XT3. Monir, I think that's how you say your name. I'm sorry. Welcome. We're definitely going to get to it. I'm going to get to the winners. And if you've never joined any of my streams before, you're going to get some color commentary from my daughter because she's falling asleep right now. Well, trying to and not doing a great job at it. And so if you hear her, my office is right here. Her bedroom's right next to me, so you may hear her in the background, so I apologize. So that being said, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting anymore. So I wanted to load up a couple of graphics and things like that. So I've already picked the winners for the giveaway. And so I know who it is, but I want to share with you guys who it is. So that being said, over the past couple months, I've been giving away or doing a contest to give away these two lenses. Well, this one for the past couple months. This is a 7Artisans 7.5 fisheye f2.8. And last week, this past Tuesday, I did a comparison between that and the Pergear 7.5 f2.8. And if you guys checked out that review, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys like the comparison? Did you guys like the kind of sizing up between the two? I really hope you did, because that's my next video too. I'm doing another comparison. And a part of this stream is I'm actually going to be looking at some of the raw footage for next week's video. So you guys will get a little bit of a sneak peek into that stream. Vienna was saying, I got the Sigma FP and waiting on some more lens options, looking for these type of lenses for it. Vienna, did the Sigma FP, do you like it? Sigma and I have been trying to work together for the past like couple months to get me to test that. And I think they're waiting on a firmware upgrade. And so I'm waiting on that. I am super stoked that it now is going to offer support for B-raw. And if you've never shot with a Pocket 4K or any Blackmagic camera, you may not be familiar with B-raw, but it is an amazing codec. I just upgraded my computer, but over here is my old computer, a 2013 iMac, and with B-raw, I was able to do a 12:1 compression and edit a 12:1 compressed B-raw. No, it's the most compressed, but B-raw codec, and I was able to edit it without proxies. So B-raw is an amazing, efficient codec. So it is awesome. So the autofocus is a little lack. Here, lens for on the go shoots. Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I will also say, okay, so I've been doing this giveaway, and I'm going to announce it here in a minute, but I'll also say, like, for those of you that don't win this Thank you for the congrats. But those of you that don't win these lenses, I would still check these lenses out. Obviously, I only have 2 lenses. I would love to just like be like, hey, Pergear, 7Artisans, give me all the lenses so I can give them away. But I only have 2. But that being said, what I love about being in this niche of ultra budget lenses is I can literally tell you guys, hey, go spend $130 on a cheap lens. The ones I'm going to be reviewing, or I've already reviewed them, but the ones I'm going to be comparing this week are like $70, and they're 25 millimeter f1.8. So come on, I mean, they're great. So if you're on a budget, if you're on an ultra budget, this is why I love this niche, because I know me, I am on an ultra like low budget. Every once in a while I'll splurge on a couple of things, and I may share with you here in a little bit what I splurged on this past week. But I love this niche because I get to tell you guys, hey, these are some amazing lenses for a really, really affordable price. So, all right, that being said, winners. You guys ready for this? All right, so I'm going to attempt to do this. This is the first time I've loaded up graphics on the screen, so we'll see how this works. So the winner, let's start with the winner for the 7Artisans, since this is the one that has been going on the longest. So the winner for the 7Artisans is going to be, and I'll just go ahead and put it on the screen. Let me see if it comes up. No, wait. Oh, I see. I'm on the wrong scene. There we go. Is Roger Feldans. Roger Feldans, you are the winner of the 7Artisans. If you're watching the stream either now or later, Roger, you won the 7Artisans. I will be reaching out to you over social media to get some shipping information. Congratulations. So 7Artisans goes to Roger. So that one's gone. Pergear. I will say I really was impressed with this lens. Let me get rid of Roger here. I really was impressed with this lens. It was a little bit softer than the 7Artisans, but that being said, it really impressed me. It was, like I said, a little soft, but what it does is honestly, it kind of gave you the idea of like a vintage lens. And if you guys have never joined a stream or heard me talk about it in some of my videos, I love vintage lenses. I literally just sold 2 of my modern prime lenses to get another zoom, which I may tell you about, and then I kept all my vintage lenses. So this is dramatic pause. I'm getting a cup of coffee here. All right, Pergear. All right, drum roll. Pergear goes to Michael Garcia. So I'll be honest. I was going through the comments on the Pergear video, and I was looking at everybody's serial options. And don't get me wrong, you guys had some amazing serial options. One reason I picked Roger was because he commented on the Pergear as well, and he said Raisin Brands. That's one of my favorite cereals. So I was like, that gives you a leg up on the giveaway. But when I saw this, a bowl of nails for breakfast without milk, I was like, I don't know how to turn that down. So it's pretty awesome. So congratulations, Michael. Again, if you're watching this after the fact or here live, congratulations. I will be reaching out to you on social media to get some shipping information. Again, if you guys are, like I said, I wish I had enough lenses to give to everyone, but I don't. But these are some amazing lenses. I believe both of these retail for $130. So if you are on a budget and you're looking for a good fisheye lens, these are definitely an option. And as I said in that review, it really comes down to preference. If you're more of a, you like that whole vintage, softer feel, go with the Pergear lens. Pergear's doing some great things right now. The next comparison I have is actually the Pergear comparison. I'm going to turn down my mic. But the next review I have, or the next comparison I have, is, again, 7Artisans versus Pergear. And so if you guys are interested in it, actually kind of stay tuned, because I'm going to be going over to DaVinci here in a minute and looking at some of this raw footage. And if you guys want some input, let me know in the chat, because once we look at that, I actually am still working on the script. This is going to be a long night for me because I'm going to be leaving this stream, finishing up the script, turning this office into a studio, and recording probably in like 2 hours. And I've been up since like 6:30, so it's gonna be a long day for me. But I haven't finished the script, so like at this point, I'm reviewing this footage with you. So if you guys want some input, let me know in the live chat. I figure that'd be kind of a fun little thing. But that being said, Pergear is doing some great things, and I definitely think if Pergear is a little bit more inexpensive in your area where you're located, by all means, like between these two lenses, I think you're going to get something out of both. Really, I work closely with both brands, and both brands are amazing. I think 7Artisans, I'm not going to lie, I love Pergear, but I think 7Artisans is the leader right now in photography lenses on an ultra budget. Makey is there, and I think Makey is great for video work. I am begging Makey to let me test one of their cine lenses. So definitely check those out. Again, congratulations to Roger. Congratulations to Michael. I'll put both y'all's names up here again. Congratulations to Roger. Congratulations to Michael. Like I said, I'll be reaching out to you guys on social media for shipping information. And again, thank you guys for participating in the giveaway. It was a lot of fun seeing you guys comment and being involved. And if you're new here because you subscribed for the giveaway, welcome. I hope that this content on this channel keeps you guys just engaged, because what you guys subscribe to in those videos is exactly what I do every week. And so definitely stay tuned. I'm using FD lenses because they are cheap and sharp. Waldo, I think we may have talked about this before, but if we haven't, I love FD lenses. Okay, so before I get into the footage, let me give you a little bit of update on my lenses, unless I have to return things or things happen. I just sold all my Rokinon lenses. A little part of me left when that happened, but I sold all my Rokinon lenses. My main driver right now is the Sigma 18-35, and I'm sure everyone's like, that's so played out. It probably is, but it's an amazing lens. But what I sold my Rokinon lenses to get is the Sigma 50-100 f1.8. I reviewed that a couple months ago and finally was like, I need a good short telephoto, because it's not super telephoto in the sense that you get 70-200. It's still 50-100, but just for the constant f1.8, the way that it just melts away your background, amazing. So sold all my Rokinon lenses to buy the Sigma Sigma 50-100. Sorry, Waldo, you caught my attention with the 85 Rokinon. It is. I'm going to miss that lens. That's one of them that I sold, was the Rokinon 85. If you're looking for a good budget 85 millimeter prime, check out the Rokinon 85 millimeter, either the T15, the cine version, or the f1.4, the photo version. Both of them are amazing. Just for my needs, I wanted to reduce how many lenses I'm bringing to jobs. And so being able to bring just two zoom lenses. Now, they are beast lenses, but being able to just bring two instead of a few different other ones is amazing. But to that note, I still have my FDs. They're basically if I'm going to deal with primes, the way I'm going to structure it is, so I have my Sigmas, and I do have a Sigma 30. I went back and bought that one too, the Sigma 30 f1.4, the contemporary lens. But basically, those are my main drivers, the Sigma 30, the 18-35, and now the 50-100. But for my more creative stuff, I have all FD primes. So I have the 24 2.8, the 50 1.4, the NFD, if you're familiar with that, basically like the 1980s body type. And then also I just picked up the macro lens. If you guys have been watching some of my more recent videos, if you've seen any macro stuff done, it has been with the Canon FD, it's the 53.5 macro. Amazing lens. Like, I can't tell you how much I love using that lens, and it's so hard to use it on the Blackmagic because there's no stability. But I love using that lens. And then I also just picked up a 70 to 210 f4 Canon FD. So Waldo, right there with you, man, with the FDs. So okay, so we're gonna transition. I'm gonna go over to, where's my DaVinci Resolve screen? Okay, we're gonna go over to DaVinci Resolve. Oh, let's not do that. Shout out to my lovely, beautiful wife for being a model in this video. She's going to be more of a model lately, just simply because I got in trouble on the 7.5 reviews because I was getting way too close to my nephew when we were shooting together. So she fired my nephew and said that she's going to be the model so that we can be socially distant. So there's a couple of things I did with this review, or this video that's coming up. I'm going to actually make this a little bit brighter so you guys can see me in the corner a little bit more. But I've reviewed both of these lenses, and to give you guys a spoiler, what I'm comparing is the 7Artisans 25mm f1.8 to the Pergear 25mm f1.8. I've reviewed both of them. They both seemingly have created a lot of interest from my audience as far as it's probably one of my 2 most watched videos. The 7Artisans is probably my most watched video in the last year and a half. But I'm comparing them. And since I've done a review on them already, I'm doing something a little bit different with this video. I don't normally do scientific things. I don't normally do controlled test, but I am with this video. I'm doing a couple of different things. I still have to actually shoot some of these things. But I'm testing things like focus breathing, sharpness. I'm testing things like low light, bokeh, as well as there was something else, and I forgot what that is. Oh, close focusing distance. I need to write that down. A close focusing distance, bokeh, low light, sharpness, and focus breathing. And flaring. And so, how does a flaring do? I may mention a little bit about the build between the two, but since I've already talked about the build on them, I'm not really going to do that. And so I've loaded up a couple clips in DaVinci. This is without even grading. This is just basically straight out of camera. And I'll be honest, this shot right here, this is the Pergear. This is the Pergear 20. Let me see if I can actually make that full screen. This is the Pergear, and honestly, I didn't think that I had mentioned which one it was when I was doing the testing. I thought this was the 7Artisans because it's just sharp, and 7Artisans is well known for center sharpness, maybe a little bit of softness on the corners, but what this produces, and you're not gonna see the full quality of this because you will on Tuesday. That's gonna be when this drops, and it's gonna be in 4K. I'm streaming in 720 right now. But I was really impressed with this. So this is the Pergear in low light. And then this is let me mute that one. My wife yawning. I was super boring when we were filming that shoot. So this is the 7Artisans. So very minor difference between the two. Well, that was another clip entirely. Excuse me. And so honestly, if I hadn't mentioned which one it was when I was going to test these, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. When I was testing the 7.5s, after a while, I started to recognize which one was which. And I was like, okay, the one that's a little bit softer and brighter is the Pergear. The one that is a little bit more sharp, but a little bit darker is the 7Artisans. And this one threw me off because they're very similar. And in some ways, the Pergear is actually better, in my opinion. And so obviously I'm not going to give everything away because this is a whole video for Tuesday, but I'm looking at this and I'm comparing these. And so, yeah, that's one clip. And obviously on Tuesday, you'll see this all graded and everything and see how it comes out. So that's straight out of camera. Another one I wanted to test was, I was trying to do a close focusing distance with this. This is my wife being super uninterested in being a model here. I love my wife. She is the best, but I think she was extra hyper this day. And so she was not into standing still. And modeling for me. So let's see if we can get it. There we go. It's a little bit sharp. So there is daytime Pergear. Let's see if I can get a. This is the stuff that's not going to make the video, so you're welcome. So this is the Pergear right here. Everything is wide open. I did have some NDs on this, and so everything's wide open. So you have the Pergear here, which pretty pleasing bokeh back here. Over on the sides, you can see a little bit. So that's the Pergear. And then you have, let me mute that. Then you have the 7Artisans. And it's weird. 7Artisans, I feel like, is actually a little bit brighter in this scenario. Whereas with the 7.5, it wasn't. And so this is a little bit of the 7Artisans. Maybe a little bit sharper. What do you guys think? Do you see a huge difference between the two? And it's crazy. Like these are, so what happens with a lot of these brands, these ultra budget brands, is basically like they all make their own version of these lenses. And so 7Artisans and Pergear and Makey and all these brands will make their own version of these lenses. And so there's always little differences between them. And even looking at this one, like the bokeh is actually a little bit more oval or a little just not really any shape. And this may be one for Pergear. Let me mute 7Artisans. I almost think, yeah, the Pergear has a little bit more pleasing bokeh. Slightly. Possibly. I may have to do like a studio test on the bokeh. So you have the 7Artisans Pergear, and then here's the one that I like because actually this is the focus breathing one. My poor wife. Here, I'm gonna flip back to me for a second. So our backyard right now has like some serious like drainage issues as far as like there's just spots in the yard that collect a lot of water, and in the south we have a ton of mosquitoes, and so I made the mistake of basically going out in the backyard to try filming, and she got eaten up by mosquitoes. So this face that she has right now is just like, please be done. I want to be done. I'm itching so bad. She was a trooper. So when this review drops, my wife's name is Savannah. Just be like, thank you, Savannah. You took one for the team on this one. So she's pretty dope, pretty awesome. But this was the focus breathing one. I'm actually going to let this play out. So let me actually full screen this. So the focus breathing, it's there. It definitely has a little bit of focus. It has focus breathing. But, if anyone knows, the Sigma, poor thing. She was like, oh my God, I'm itching so bad. But the Sigma has really bad focus breathing. And I feel like this is on par with like a Sigma as far as focus breathing. I felt like it was legit. And I'll be honest. Look, there's the bokeh a little bit for the car. I don't find it super distracting. Yes, there's absolutely focus breathing. But I don't find it massively distracting. Oh, I'm not even showing my screen right now. Hang on, let me go back. I realize I've been talking this whole time. Okay, so here's the focus breathing. Sorry about like the 2 minutes where you guys were actually just, watching me. So you have the focus breathing a little bit. This one is the 7Artisans, I believe. Like I said, there's definitely focus breathing there, but I don't feel like it's extremely distracting. But then again, like I don't have issues with focus breathing. I feel like it's a style. I feel like it's just something you get with some of these lenses, and so I don't honestly, when I'm filming, I don't really give it a lot of thought. I know there are some people that live and die by like zero focus breathing or like minimal focus breathing, and that's fair. That's fair. If you're trying to be like spot on filmmaking and, eliminate those things that can be distracting and, unsettling, then focus breathing is one of them. But I know a lot of people prefer the style. This is where I was saying, poor thing for being as itchy as she was. But some people prefer focus breathing. So, the focus breathing, which, like I said, it's there. I feel like it's on par with pretty much any lens. It's not like drastic. I think I may do a comparison between the focus breathing on these lenses and something like a more expensive lens, like a Sigma or something like that. Maybe not the Sigma, because that one's really bad at focus breathing. All right, then the last thing. Nope. Oh, here, let me exile full screen. I had them both muted. There we go. The last one is flaring. And again, these are things that I'm going to be putting here in a little bit into a video. I love this shot. I'm going to do more flare shots because I thought it looked cool. But let me let this play out. So this is the Pergear one. I basically told her for this shot, I was like, I don't really care what you do. We're both over this shoot right now, so be silly. I don't care. I just need you to move a light back and forth. So that's what you get out of this one. So this is the Pergear. And honestly, like, it has some cool flaring. I don't feel... it's... it's something. It kind of flares kind of weird in some ways. But I'm also one of those people that, like, I think flaring adds to character. And so, like, having flaring like this, like, that is super dope. Like, how it just kind of, like, just like goes out. All right, let me go back. That was a great description, Anson. Let me tell you what. All right, so you got so all right, so this is the 7Artisans. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so this one, I mean, they have very similar flaring. I don't think either one of them has better flaring. Okay, let's see if she goes back and forth. There we go. I mean, I think both of them. Honestly, I almost think the Pergear has a little bit better flaring. Yeah, I feel like they're very similar, but I don't know. I think they both have their own uniqueness to it. I'll have to look at it a little bit more. So those are a couple clips. I'm going to work on the script here in a little bit, but tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that just based off of what you see, obviously, like, what my goal is, and I want to give you guys some value if you tune in on Tuesday. My goal is over the weekend to get some more, like, natural shots with these lenses, maybe do some more studio type test. But I really do think that they're pretty cool, like, right? Like, they're pretty comparable, and it's interesting. Like, it's not, like I said, 7Artisans, I feel like, is the kind of leader of the budget brands, the ultra budget brands, but Pergear's sitting there right with them. There's some shots I felt like was better on Pergear. I'm going to have to go back and forth on these and be like, which do I prefer? Because they're very, very close. And the fact that Pergear's not been putting out their own lenses for a long time. And again, like, these companies are kind of taking, builds, kind of almost like taking these builds and putting their logos on them and stuff like that. And so they're not like groundbreaking new things. I think they sometimes change up the design. Like, freaking A, this Pergear 7.5. I love the design of this. If it wasn't for, like, it wouldn't make my rig work out that great as opposed to the 7Artisans. I mean, this would be dope. I mean, it's just the way that it's built is amazing. So they sometimes will be different in build, but optically, like, there probably very little difference between them. So that's why I'm always like, whichever you prefer. I feel like the Pergear kind of really shines when you compare it to like vintage lenses and ones that aren't like a Sigma where it's just like trying to be sharp corner to corner. I truly think that 7Artisans is trying to find a niche in photo lenses. I actually asked them this past week, and I don't know if I can actually share this. Hell with it, whatever. I asked them this past week. I was like, "Do you guys have a roadmap for cine lenses?" And they said no. So I really do think they're trying to make their niche photo lenses, whereas Makey, again, maybe focusing on like the Vedra style lenses where you have like the micro cine lenses. And so, each one of these ultra budget brands really offer something in and of itself, except for, I won't mention the one brand that I tested that I really didn't like because I just felt like it was not good. Because there's like a borderline of not good character and, with what Waldo and I were talking about a little bit ago of vintage lenses. Vintage lenses aren't perfect, and they're not perfect because maybe the technology wasn't available to make them as clinically perfect as some of the more modern lenses. But these ultra budget brands kind of take that model and really replicate a lot of vintage style. And so, but with that, you have this border of, is it good? Does it have character, or is it just trash? And I don't like to bash anybody's brand. I don't like to bash anybody's lenses. I think everyone offers something. And so that's too dark now. I've already gotten here. But I think everybody offers something. And I think the more you have these ultra budget brands and the more you have them competing with each other, that everybody benefits from it, because, along comes, Makey that makes a micro cine lens or a smaller cine lens. And we all benefit from that because now we don't have to pay $1,200 for an SLR Magic. We don't have to even pay $700-800 for a Vedra, like Vidra. I can't remember. Yeah. Anyways, but now we can do stuff like buy a Makey cine lens and spend $400 for something that is very optically like there. Now, my issue with that is always investing in micro four thirds, because if you try to take it to something else, then it's a little bit harder to do. But that's a whole other thing in and of itself. So, that being said, this Tuesday, we are having a showdown of lenses. We are talking about the Pergear 25 millimeter f1.8. I don't know why I spaced it out that way. And then we're also talking about the 7Artisans 25 millimeter f1.8. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a giveaway for those. I've told Pergear and 7Artisans I'm going to do a few more videos with them, so I got to keep those on hand. But tune in, because I think you guys are going to find that these $70 lenses. Matter of fact, let me look it up right now on how much they are. I'm pretty sure they're still like $60 to $70. And for $60 and $70 lenses, you can't beat it. Like, you can't beat it. All right, so 7Artisans 25. That is currently sitting at $73.60. That's a random number. $75 for a 25 millimeter f1.8. All the tests will be done on my Blackmagic. So you'll see what it looks like on the Blackmagic. And I honestly think for a system like the Blackmagic, these ultra budget lenses are perfect, because, if you're on a budget, one video I really want to make is like doing paid gigs with something like the 25 millimeter f1.8, because I think you can do it. I think it's there. Going back, let me go back over to Resolve. Let me go back to that low light image. Not the one where she's yawning. Let me bring up. But seriously, having something like this, you can do a stylistic paid gig like this. Now, if you're getting thousands of dollars and they're expecting corner to corner sharpness like that it may not get you there. But if you're getting your, building up your clientele, you're on a micro budget. Honestly, this will get you there. This is a $75. Matter of fact, I think now Pergear is cheaper than 7Artisans because I don't think they changed the price on them. Let me see here. It's Pergear 25. Not Petgear. Amazon. All right, Pergear 25. Yeah, Pergear's $5, $3 cheaper. So it's right at $70. So this is the Pergear lens. So for all intents and purposes, like, you can absolutely get away with, starting out in the filmmaking career with something like this. And that's the beauty of this market of ultra budget lenses. And that's why I love talking about them, because like, I love my Sigma lenses. I love Sigma lenses. I love my vintage lenses. I love my Sigma lenses. But like, these lenses, if you are on an ultra low budget, then these will get you what you need. And what you need to focus on is the story you're going to tell, the quality you're going to put in your production, and let these be a tool. And honestly, like, that's what I'm here for. That's what this channel is here for. I'd even say my tagline at the beginning, but I'm working on a new tagline, and that, not a motto, but a tagline of, on this channel, we talk about filmmaking gear, and specifically gear for the budget conscious filmmaker. And like I say all the time, if that's you, subscribe, because that's what we talk about on a weekly basis. I've got a couple cool things coming up. Fingers crossed, after next week, I'll be talking about a new gimbal, possibly the 2S from Zhiyun. So that, the Crane 2S, I'm super stoked on that. Pergear asked if I want to review that, and I said, yes, please. So I'll be reviewing that hopefully in the next couple weeks. And I'm waiting for that one because I'm waiting to see if that gimbal can handle my Pocket 4K with the 50 to 100, because it's supposed to handle a huge payload, and I'm really interested to see if it's going to handle that. I have my suspicions that it won't, but we'll see. And then after that, I have a couple of other comparisons I want to do. But then somewhere in there, we're going to talk about the Hollyland Mars 300 Pro. I'm super stoked on that too. A wireless video transmission for budget conscious filmmakers. So again, this is what we talk about on a weekly basis. And so again, if you're a filmmaker getting into filmmaking, if you're trying to do it as a business, if you're a freelance videographer, freelance filmmaker, if you're just doing it as a passion project, if all you're doing is passion projects, so this is more of a hobby for you, which honestly right now it is for me, aside from YouTube. It's kind of like my part-time job, but I do a lot of passion projects and a lot of hobby stuff. And so I don't have a budget, and that's why stuff like this is perfect. So I went off on my soapbox, but I appreciate you guys being here. As I said before, I appreciate you guys participating in the giveaways, hanging out, watching me review some footage to share with you guys next week. Please tune into that video. I think it's going to be a really cool video, something different from the channel. Just looking at a little bit more of controlled test rather than just like real world shots. And there will be some real world shots in there, but giving you guys a little bit more information than what is normally given to you in some Anson & Co. reviews. Yes, I just refer to myself in the third person. That's where we are now. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Again, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for being active in the chat. I don't think I've ever gotten into a stream and had people like commenting right away as much as you guys did. So thank you guys very much. And if you are a budget conscious filmmaker, consider subscribing to the channel, because we're going to talk about more things like the 7Artisans lenses. I talk regularly with 7Artisans. I talk regularly with Pergear. And so there will definitely be more from both of those brands. And I'm real excited to share it with you. So that being said, if that's something you're into, consider subscribing. If you did enjoy the stream, make sure you give it a like. Thank you guys for commenting. You guys have a great weekend. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Stay safe. Be happy. Support each other. Support each other. I'll see you here next time. Oh, wait. And whoa. I messed up something. Okay, let's try that again. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Stay safe. Be happy. Support each other. Wash those hands, and I'll see you here next time. Peace.